Tonight we will talk about loops and conditional statement in Python. So do you have any idea about the loops and conditional statement? Any idea?
Loops is like iteration, and condition is like if it's okay, then it will say yes, true or false, like this Boolean statement, and then the function will go on.
So loops like, okay, imagine you have a rope, and within rope you want to like tie your data one by one by one, like the repetition. If you want to like repeat the same work again and again, over again and again. So if you do manually, it will take time, long time. Imagine if you have like 10,000s of elements. So if you want to repeat one by one, one by one, one by one, and if you want to do manually, so it will take long time. But by using loops, you can do efficiently, like within minute or within second, you can do that. You can do within like a day or month. But if you use the loops, you can do it within second or minute. Okay, that's how we use the loop. And conditional statement is the logic. Okay, the logic like true or false. By using logic, we can reduce our computing time. We can save our time. Okay. So for loop with range function, we use range in Python a lot for loop. Okay. So what is a range? Though I already talked in the last class, maybe previous two classes, right? I talk about the range function. The range function starts with 0 by default and increments by 1 by default and ends at a specified numbers. Say for example, if you just use the integer like 20, it will start at 0 and end with n minus 1. That means it's from 0 to 20, but not included the 20. That's when 0 to 19. Okay, so the last value, the last element will be n minus 1. Let's run and see. Like it starts from 0 and finished with n minus 1. That means the 19. Okay, 20 is not included. So this is a basic of range. Even we can use range with like a starting point with 1 and ending point is 20, but not included. So it will print it out from 1 to 19. 20 is not included. Okay, the ending point is n minus 1. Even we can use an increment, like starting point, the ending point, and the increment. You know, most of the languages, like for, this is a C loop. We have also the do loop. This is the for turn loop. Whatever, different languages use different syntax, but the basic idea is the same. It should be a starting point, like you want to give a task to your computer. So where computer start the work and where the computer should finish and what is the increment. In every languages, the increments is 1. Is a by default increment is 1. But even you can use increment 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So what will be the result? Do you have any idea for this? We know it should be from 1 to 19. It's not included 20. But what will be if we use the increment?
Be even, all even number within 20.
Exactly. So we'll get like 1, then 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 like this. So increment is 2. Okay, we can use the increment. Like for k in range this. We already talked about this membership operator. So you know about it, right? So for this way, we can repeat one by one. Okay, we don't need to do one by one. Okay, so this is a for loop. This is the range function we can use. Even we can use loop with list. Like we have a list, Jalal, Ripa, then 2, 4, 6. We have a string and numeric data. Okay. Now we're saying for I in range, even we could use length function. That means the length will give the number of length, right? The location, the position, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the length is 5. That means ultimately the range is 5. So what will be in range? The length will give 5. Okay, so what will be the range? It should be 1, 2, right? Because the length will give the 5, isn't it? 5. Okay. If it is 5 range, it should start from like it will give 4 n minus 1, right? So we can print it. We can print list item. Then we can access with index, like the square bracket. This is the indexing operator, right? We can index I. That means it will print it. First we'll print Jalal, then Ripa, then 2, 4, 6. Yes. So for I in range, length list item should go from like Jalal to 6. Then we want to print one by one. So we don't need to print manually one by one. By using loop, we can print the whole list in 1 second. Even we can directly print like this for I in list item, then print I. Even it will give you the same. It will give the same result. So
Then why we should use len function? Then why we should use len function? What is the benefit to using len function?
No benefit here. You can use different way. You can use a different way to get the same result, whatever you like.
Okay.
Right. Now looping through a string, like we have a string Jalal. If you want to print every letter, okay, from Jalal, like J, A, L, A, L, right? We want to print it, then we can use a loop. We don't need to print one by one. Okay. Now we have a dictionary. What is dictionary? Our last class was dictionary, right? So what is a dictionary? What is the dictionary?
Dictionary is from curly bracket and there are many items. One are key items or other was the value.
Okay, thank you so much. So dictionary, in dictionary we have a key and we have value, the pair, okay? Pair of key and value. So name, Jalal, wife, Ripa Jalal. So this is a key and we have value, right? And we start with the curly bracket and finish with the curly bracket. This is a dictionary, okay? Even we can use loop to print the dictionary. In dictionary, we have key and value, right? So this is my dictionary and I want to print one by one. For key, value in my dictionary items. In the last class, I showed you through items, you can print, like you can access key and value, right? Together. So key for key, value in my dictionary items. Okay. Then print key. Then plus, we want to use some string like colon, space colon. Plus, we want to print value like key plus space colon. Then plus, we want to print the value, but the value will be in a string. That's why we use a function called string. So we have a value like Jalal, Ripa Jalal, Jara Jalal, 9090, true, white, green, red. So we want to print the value as a string. Okay. This is the idea. Like print it. Name, Jalal. So this is a key. Key is a name. Then we plus, we put a space, colon, then a space, then value. Value is what? Jalal. First, value Jalal, but it printed out with a string. Okay, as a string. Name Jalal, wife Ripa Jalal, Jara Jalal, year of birth. The all are string. So even we can use loop in case of dictionary. Okay. And what is the nested loop? Do you have any idea? The nested loop.
Two or more loop can be used in one loop. We have to intend then. When we have to use a nested loop, we have to intend. By this way, we can use more than one loop inside a loop.
We have a loop. If we have a loop inside the another loop, okay, inside the loop, if we have the another loop, this is the nested loop. Okay, so like we have an item, list item 1 and list item 2. Okay, like Jalal, Ripa, Jara, the happy, lucky, honest, right? Now we have 2 lists. Then we want to use loop. For I in list item 1, for J, we use another loop inside this for loop. J in list item 2. Then want to print it IJ. So what will be the result? Do you have any idea? If you don't understand this, you will not understand the next one. What will be the result? Print I and J. Do you have any idea?
All the values of this list should be printed.
It should be matrix. It multiply like Jalal, first Jalal, happy, Jalal, lucky, Jalal, honest, Ripa, happy, then Ripa, lucky, Ripa, honest. Okay, then Jara, happy, Jara, lucky, Jara, honest. It should be like this matrix. Okay. I and J, then I multiply J. So Jalal will be multiplied by like, then Ripa, then Jara. If you understand the first one, so what will be the second one? Like we want to print A square plus B square, right? So we define A, we define B, then we said, okay, for I in A, for J in B, so C is equal A square plus B square, like I square plus J square. That means the A square plus B square, right? So what will be the result? What will be the first result? The first iteration. If you understand this one, you should understand this one. What will be the first value in C?
2.
Like 1 square is 1, right? 1 square is 1. Yes. 2. Then 1 square plus 2 square. 4 plus 1, 5, right? The second 1 square plus 9. 9 plus 1. What will be the result? 10. Did you get it now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, understanding is the key. If you don't understand this simple example, when you use your real data, like a big data, you have a lot of data, okay? Then you will not understand. First, you need to understand with the basic example, okay? So here, now I have a question. I use the iteration, I use a loop. It gives me one by one value, right? Like first result is 2, the second result is 5, the third result is 10. So it will iterate till it finish, right? But if I want to save or access the result, like C, this is the result, A square plus B square. So how I can save the result? How I can access the result? Do you have any idea? Any idea? So for this case, in every languages, whatever in Python, MATLAB, or any languages, we need to create an empty array. Like here, I created an empty list, right? Where I can paste my results. Where I can set my result. So in Python, we use a function append. That means we want to save our results in this empty list. Okay. In MATLAB, we often use like ones, 0. We create an empty array. We create a memory. Okay. Then we save it with this empty array. Did you get it? See, for example, in Excel, you have average the data, right? Average like monthly data. Then you need to paste the result to another column, right? You have a 2 column, like one column is minimum temperature, another column is maximum temperature. Then you average the results, right? Where will you keep your result? In another column, right? Like column A is minimum temperature, column B is maximum temperature, then average temperature in column C. Did you get it? So you need to create, like in Excel, you have already created, like Excel has the space, the another column where you can paste it. But in Python, in MATLAB or R, whatever in language, you need to create an empty array. Who didn't get it? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Did you get it?
Please, sir, it's not very clear for me.
Hmm?
It's not very clear for me.
Oh, like you have the result, like C is giving the results like from 2 to 50, right? These are results. The A square plus B square, like the result of C, isn't it?
Yes.
You need to save these results. It's just giving you printing out, but you need to save it. You need to access this data. How? So first you need to create an empty array. Like I have created an empty array, result is equal empty list. There is no value in this list, right? Then I said result dot append C. In result, this empty array append, this means the results of C. Then print result. Now you see my result in an array. Now I can access it. I saved it, one array. Now I can make a data frame. I can save as Excel file or text file. I can save it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
The last bit of the code, this one, which says result.append.
Mm-hmm. You want to add
I want
C is equal result, right? This is our result, right? C.
yes.
These are result a square plus b square. So I have created one empty array, okay, empty list. I want to paste the result in this list. Did you get it? Then I said, okay, result dot append C. That means the result of C will be pasted here. We are keeping
Okay.
the result of C into this array, empty array. That's why we need to use a result append C. That means we are going to add the result of C into this empty result. Did you get it now?
Yes. What if I'm to create rows and columns?
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm to create rows and columns?
Rows and columns? No, if your result is two-dimensional, then it will be two-dimensional, whatever. Now our result is one-dimensional. That is giving you the one-dimensional. If you have three, that means what you have, if you have the matrix, even you can append matrix. It will paste it in empty array. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
What you have, you can save, but you need to create an empty array. This is very, very important idea in any languages, in R, MATLAB, NCL, whatever, in any programming language. When you use a loop, it will print it out, right? One by one, it will like iterate one by one. But if you don't save, okay, it will give the last value. Just try in MATLAB. If you just want to save it one, if you don't create empty array, it will give the last one, like 50. Like it will give the 2, then 5, then 10, then it will give the last value, only one value, 50. But if you want to save the whole results, then you need to create an array, empty array. It's the same thing. Who didn't get it yet? Understanding is the key. Who didn't get it? Any question? I will explain more and more if you don't understand, but if you don't understand, you will suffer a lot. These are great mistakes to understand. We just want a code online, or we just want a code from someone, and we just like finish our work and publish our paper or thesis, etc. But we don't want to learn. We don't want to understand. That's the problem. Like I'm teaching a student from since 2018 till now. I have found a lot of students who just want the code. It's not good. You need to be independent. Did you get this idea? Who didn't get it? I think everyone got this idea. Eh? Okay. Now we have a while loop. Okay. If you have the while loop, we need to, in a while loop, it will execute till the condition is true. When the condition is false, the while will exit. Okay. Like in this case, we need to first define, okay, I or j, whatever, is equal to 1. Then while I less than 10, okay, less than 10, print I. Then increment, this is I plus equal 1, that means I is equal I plus 1. That means this is the increments. It will start the first one, like less than 10, then we have 1 to 10, right? First we'll start by 1, then the next iteration will be like plus 1, that means the next iteration, then next iteration 1 by 1, 1 by 1 till 10. But it should be less than 1. So it will go, it will be true till 1 to 9, isn't it? I is less than 10 means it will go till 1 to 9, because 10 not less than 10, isn't it? Is equal. So it will exit the iteration, right? Then else print I is no longer less than 10. It should go 1 to 9. Then while like I is equal like 10, it's not true because it false. I should be less than 10. Then said I is no longer less than 10. Else, this means the alternative, the false. Now the conditional statement. In conditional statement, in Python we have if, else if, and else. Okay, but be careful. In other languages should be else if, but in Python just elif. That means the else if. Okay, be careful about the typing. So a is equal 0. I said, okay, if a greater than 0, print a is a positive number. Okay, else if a less than 0, print a negative number, else print a is equal 0. Okay, so if it is first true, it will print it out. If false, then it will go the another one, else if. Even if it is false, then it will be the last one, else. So what will be the result for this case?
A is equal 0.
Yeah, the last one. First one is false. Second one is also false. The last one is true. A is equal 0. Okay. Then a is equal 10. If a is greater than 0, print a is a positive number. If, then we can use nested if. Same way, we can also use a nested if. Like we have a if, then inside the if, we can also use another if, then it is called the nested if. Okay. Then print if a greater than 0, then print a is a positive number. Then another if a is greater than 5, print a is a positive number. What will be the result?
The result will be a is the positive number.
Naeem.
Sir,
Yeah, what will be the result?
so there is two loops. So
This is not loop, this is a condition, if logic. Next,
both conditions are true. So
what do you think? It should be two results. Both are true.
True, yes.
This is an
I
inside
was
loop. It's a
little
nested
bit
loop.
confused.
No confuse.
Yes, this logical or this condition was confusing because they both are similar condition.
No, it's not similar condition. Inside a loop, another is this is a true. So first execute, this is a true. Yes. Inside the another loop, but that one is it's not a nested loop. This is alternative. Okay, let's say, okay, we can change it. Now I have changed this a is equal 10. Okay. Now I'm saying a first condition, a is greater than 0, print a positive number. Else if a is less than 0, else. So what will be the answer now? 9.
A is the positive number. That's the one.
So how many results should you should get it?
One. That's the
3.
one result.
Yeah, should be the first one. Why? This is not the nested loop. This is a separate loop. Like if the first one is true, what I said, if true, then true. The else if or else, this is the alternative. If the first one is false, then it will come to else if. Even it is false, then the last one. If we use 0, then first one also false. So it will go the second one. Second one also false, the last one. It should be the 0. But if it is, the first is true, then it's true. Then it exit the logic. Did you get it? But this one is inside. If one is a true, then you get the result. But inside the another if, it is also true. You should get 2 results.
Sir, in the second condition, if a greater than 5, we can change the value. A greater
Let's
than
change this a is equal 0.
Sir,
Okay, let's change a is equal 0. What will be the result now here?
no condition is positive or getting true because a
Nothing. It should be nothing. Because we didn't use the else. In that case, we use the else. But here we didn't use the else. Both are false. So exit.
so sir, does it mean that if I have more than one condition that is to be fulfilled, I don't use
Okay.
else?
Okay, let me use another one. A is equal 2. What will be the result now?
is positive number, just 2 times will be printed. No, sorry. First condition
First
is
one
false,
is-
second condition false. Just 1 time it will be stable.
So you got 1. It's very simple. If it is true, then execute. It will not search the another condition. But if it false, then we'll go the alternative. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Like I'm looking 9. I will go to the Jahangir University. What is your department? This geography and environment, right?
Geography and environment.
Yes. What is your base?
46 base.
46 base. So I'll go to the geography and environment. Like I need someone like Naeem Sheikh. But if there is a condition, one task, like I have a research project from the research society. Anyone from the geography and environment, best like 46, can do the work. But if I have a condition, no, only 9 can do the work. Then if 9 is equal 9 is true, then I will just take 9. But if there is a condition, no, if 9 is absent, then Shahriar can do the work. Or maybe Sanjana can do the work. If I have the alternative, then I will search another one. Okay, 9 is absent. Shahriar can do the work. But if the condition only 9 will do the work. Maybe there is some inside a condition. Maybe 9 can do the. Maybe 9 know the programming, whatever. 9 know the like research, whatever. I have a condition. Only 9 can do the work. Then 9 is true. My purpose is served. I will not search Shahriar another one. But if I have a condition now, okay, 9 is absent. I can like give the task another one, another person like a Shahriar I can give, and Shahriar can do the work.
Yes, sir, it's clear now.
True. If it is true, then execute. It will not serve an alternative, false. Okay, but if it is false, then serve another one, else if. Even else if or false, then the else. If like no, any condition is not true, like no condition is true, then what we got last time, there was no result. There is no condition is true. It's finished. Okay.
Yes, sir, got it.
If we use, okay, let me clear another one. This is the inside loop was true both, right? If we use a 0, no. It was what? 10, right? It was 10. Yeah, we got the true result, right? Now let's see here. A is equal. Okay, I think it is very clear now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't be confused. Just think about it. Just see the flow chart. It's very simple. Don't be confused. All right, now we also can use a break and continue. Okay, break and continue. Like we have a lot of data, like 10,000s of elements. Okay, but we don't want to like iterate every element. Maybe you have a certain condition. Okay, so for example, if you use it for break, stop the loop before it has looped through all the items. Okay, let's understand with the real example. Like I have a list, Jalal, Ripa, and Zara. Okay, we have 3 elements in this list. But maybe we don't want to use the 3 elements. Maybe, okay, if Ripa is equal Ripa, then exit the condition. We don't need it. What I said, if I find Naim, I don't need other students to do the work. Okay, so we are using loop for I. Now we are using both loop and condition. Sometimes we can use only loop. Even sometimes we need loop and condition, both. Say for example, you have 10,000 of data. You want to iterate every element, but you have certain condition. So in that case, we use both loop and condition. Like here, for I in list item, okay, print I. That means if you don't use if you don't use if, it will print every element, isn't it? The first line.
Yes, sir.
Yes, like
Yes, sir.
Ripa, Jara, isn't it? It will print everything. Now we have a condition. If I is equal Ripa, then break. So first is print like Jalal and Ripa, but I made a condition. If it is I is equal Ripa, then break, like stop the loop. That's why just it printed Jalal and Ripa. It didn't go for Zara. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Clear to me.
Okay, but another we need to understand. We have the next one. Like here, we use a if after, like first we print it, then use a condition. But first, if we use a condition, then at the end, if we want to print, so what will be the result? Like here is saying, for I in list item, if I is equal to Ripa, break and print I. So what will be the result?
It should be Ripa only.
No, only Jalal. First we use condition, then we print it out. But here we print it first. That's why it printed Jalal and Ripa. While you use okay, if I is Ripa is okay, stop. Then in printed Jalal and Ripa. But before we print it, we made a comment. We made a condition. Like for I list item, that means we have Jalal, Ripa, Zara. But I said if I is equal to Ripa, break. That means Ripa is equal break. Only print the Jalal, then print it. So break is stop the loop before it has looped through the whole item. Okay. Now, what is a continue? For the continue, stop the current iteration of the loop and continue with the next. That means here we have a list Jalal, Ripa, and Zara. For I in list item, if I is equal Ripa, that means this is a current iteration. So it will not take the Ripa. Continue, that means stop the current iteration, that means the Ripa. But continue with the next, that means it will first Jalal, when Ripa is equal I, it will omit, but continue with the next. That means it will print Jalal and Jara. This is a continue. For the continue, what is the current iteration? Stop the current iteration and continue with the next. We can also use break for while. like I is equal 1, while I less than 10, print I, but I said here, if I is equal 6, break. This is, the increment. So what will be the result now? If I don't use if, it should print 1 to 9, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But when I said if I is equal 6, break, that means 1 to 6. It will print 1 to 6.
Yes, 1 to 6.
This is very, very simple.
Understood.
If you don't understand, it will suffer. You will suffer. You'll suffer a lot. Understanding is the key. Any question? I think you should practice. You should sit down and read it and practice with your real life. Then you will understand. Otherwise, you will be confused. You need to practice.
Sir,
Yes.
I just wanted to ask,
Mhm.
like this kind of looping and the if condition, can it be applied to an HCDF file?
Anywhere. We don't care. This is another misconception. This is another misconception. Like I'm going to teach MATLAB to CS. The CS is a Computer Electronics and Software Society. They have the misconception. They came to me, oh, you're from the meteorology. So do you use your meteorology data or the computer science data? Then I said, in the computer science, in data science, we just care about the data. What is the background? We don't care. In MATLAB, it open as a matrix, whatever in NetCDF format, whatever is a text format, whatever Excel, whatever you have data in like CSV file. When you open in a programming language, when you open in a software, we just care about the data. We just care about the matrix. What is a row and column? How many rows and column? What is the data type? What is etc. etc. It's a numeric or non-numeric, etc. We don't care. You can use NetCDF, whatever. This is the same thing.
Now, if I have like, if I have like, let's say 4 columns in my data, or 4 variables, and I want to have conditions, like different conditions at the same level applied for different columns. Are they columns or rows? Yeah, columns. And that condition is to be repeated for all the rows. Is that also possible?
First one thing, do you understand the NetCDF data? And where do you want to open?
Yes.
In Python or LCL or MATLAB, in anywhere, you just need to understand the data first. So maybe in data analysis class, we'll understand first what is the data and how can we use this if loop, okay? Then you will understand the data. When you open the data, it's the same thing. Like you have a 4 column or 4 row, like you can open, imagine you open in an Excel file. You have the 4 rows, 4 columns, or like 1,000 rows, whatever. You can access it, you can index it, you can use the logic, you can use a condition. Same way in my first class or second class, I showed you how to access, like if you have the drought data, I had an Excel file, right? Then I access if less than or greater than like 2. This is another logic. This is a Boolean, right? This is also the logical AND. We use the logical AND or the same thing. No worries, we'll talk later. We talk, even I will show you the NetCDF data in Python. Maybe in the last class, the special class, I will show you.
Okay, sir.
All right. So, do you have any question?
Hey, Mr. Jalal, I have a question.
Ibrahim.
I don't normally receive those documents you send. I don't know whether if you can send them to our emails.
So did you get it here? Maybe you joined last, right? You joined in late.
No. I didn't join late. I joined for the first time.
Exactly. Why I don't want? Because like here, how many? I sent the email 89. I sent it to 89 person, right? How many have joined the class? So I don't want to share everyone like who don't want to come to the class. Did you get it? But if anyone asks me and send me email, send me the material, yeah, I send it. But you should have. Did you get it? What I'm saying?
Yes, I understand, sir.
Yeah. So you should come.
Sir, I have something to tell that yesterday, previous class I missed because I have some personal problem.
Okay, one thing.
So when I go
Okay,
to your YouTube channel,
let me clear you. MD, he is our facilitator, right? And he will share the materials, and Hajar Akhtar will share the attendance link. So if you have, like, if you miss the classes, you can ask MDOT, or you can send the email to MDOT, or you can ask in the, like in the during the class, even MDOT will share to you. No worries, we'll share.
sir, I asked him that to send me the previous class material, but he said
His exam is going on. You need to be patient. You need to be patient. You need to be patient. His final exam is going on. Sometimes you need to be patient. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sometimes you need to be patient. His final exam is going on. All right. Thank you so much. But I think class is the most important class. In programming, in data analysis, or in data science, if you are master with 3 things, then you are the master. Error management, if you know how to handle the data. Second is loop. You don't need to do one by one. If you have 30 years data, 50 years data, you have industrial data, a lot of data, big data, but you don't need to do one by one. You can use the loop. Then you need to use the logic. If you don't understand tonight's class, you will be suffer a lot. I can guarantee you, you will suffer. So be careful, study them, and try to learn, try to understand. Understanding is the key. Okay? Well, thank you so much, and see you later, and see you in the next class. Bye. Good night.